So who is Flynn? What is Flynn? Why is Flynn?
How is Flynn?
Where is Flynn?
What do you mean, seeing
What other adjectives can we throw in this about Flynn?
What is a Flynn? A miserable pile of secrets.
How is Flynn? When is Flynn? Actually, that last question's a good one. When is Flynn actually gonna be relevant outside of people constantly asking about Flynn?
A-I-E-O-U and sometimes Flynn.
Flynn is love. Flynn is life.
Oh God! Because it started spawning in as soon as I go for that one.
To skip
Never
off
fails.
a tiny bit, that does remind me of when Opaque first replayed this game on his own for once, and his biggest criticism about Act 1 is like, Estelle is constantly concerned about Flynn. Flynn doesn't really have much to do with the plot, so I don't know why we spend half the game looking for him. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually a good question. Why are we spending half the game looking for him if he's not really relevant to the plot for the first?
I'd say we're spending the first half of Act 1 worried about Flynn. Damn it with the sandwich.
Damage.
I know Opaque has a few gripes with the game, and mostly with the gameplay as well, and I understand where they're coming from, but I'm just like, I'm gonna still like it.
Yeah. No, I still like it too, but I semi-agree with him on that, because like the game makes Flynn out to be like the most important part of Act 1, and he's really not.
No, what's important
not
is you're
to jump
chasing
too far
after
ahead
him.
or anything, but
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
it's like if you were to spend half of Zillia 1 on Jude's path looking for Mila, and Mila's just like the next town over every other time you get to a new town.
drives the people here to do shady things, like stealing Blastia cores.
Get it? Like the sun? Shady things? Ah!
Boo. Boo.
Boo this man. Boo.
That'll make your ass sense.
Yeah.
Did James Rolfe name this town? Aspio.
No.
No. We already did that last part.
We did, actually.
Did we?
Oh.
I couldn't remember.
Papers.
My bad.
Oh no. Oh no, it's papers, please, from the other end.
Damn. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but going back to the whole Flynn thing. Like, I'm glad that by the halfway point of Act 1, they dropped that whole thing where we're always one step behind him. Because had that dragged on for the entirety of the first act, and questionably even further than that, it would have felt like a really tedious little part of the story.
Yeah. Like I said, I can understand people having gripes with like Flynn being the focal point of the first the first hour of the game.
I wouldn't even really say there's much of a focal point in Act 1, or even much of the game really, but it's just like we focus on the here and now for the most part. It's just we have a goal, but it's like we're not laser focused on it. It's like we'll do some stuff along the way.
I think people's problem with it was that the game makes it sound like it's important, but in the end, it's not as important as it should be. That's all.
I love the logic.
I like the I think the funniest thing is that they're supposed to be royal guards, and they don't recognize the princess in front of them.
Yeah, right.
It's
well, wait, shh.
Hello?
That's supposed to be a spoiler for later on. Honestly, though, I know.
Who cares?
That's the joke. Just like, how do you not know that Estella's royalty, considering all that we've been through?
I'm just saying, in hindsight.
It's just funny though. They treat it as a big reveal later on when we get to that point. It's just like, I thought that was obvious.
I mean, this is more obvious than Colette being the chosen of Mana, for God's sake.
And that was explicit.
I know I go back to Symphonia a lot, but that game is like trope incarnate, so it's the easiest thing to call back to.
I always like these Wonder Chef icons.
I forgot the Wonder Chef turns into a radish.
That was very suggestive.
He's like, ah.
At last, someone found me. I've been waiting.
I'm Wonder Chef. I have a wall of text that you're probably just skimming over because you want my my recipe.
You will never see your face as long as I'm on screen.
I'm waiting till when the next Tales game comes out and the Wonder Chef comes back. His text bubble just fills up the entire fucking screen.
It's like
No,
that,
no. His text bubble his text bubbles are his attacks.
or no, it's like that one
No, that
text
would be-
bubble from Pizza Tower, the one that has like that huge long ramble. It's just like I'm not reading that. Hopefully, I remember to edit it in because honestly, just like who's gonna bother reading all of that?
Nobody.
And I'm pretty sure the Pizza Tower dev was aware of it.
When you want them to.
More than likely.
I guess we'll have to climb over the wall and
Give me
open
1
from
second.
inside.
A little quick to
Hey.
jump to our last resort, aren't you?
Let's
Fuck
wait
it,
for
let's
Flynn to
climb.
come out then.
Do it.
Even if Flynn comes out, it's
Just
not
super-
like he's gonna
just super
take
jump
you
over it.
out with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if Flynn comes
I mean, we've
Wouldn't-
seen how
you-
we've seen how resourceful that Yuri can be.
Never go
Aspio
for a
P
plan
rank.
like this. It's
No, I'm just
Oh.
I'm
No,
just
this is-
imagining the Vesperia characters in the Pizza Tower art style.
Yuri
Nah,
would
if
be,
this was
Yuri
a
would be
P
the
rank,
first-
if this was a P rank run, Yuri would try to find a way to clip through everything just to get to the finale.
Yuri would get the holy shit run just because he shouts "Holy shit! What the hell did I just do?"
Well,
No, he'd be doing backwards long jumping all the way to the finish line.
We
Jesus.
should just wait here for Flynn.
It's like
No, that's
if I long jump from here, I'll get sent so far into the future that I'll wind up in Act 3.
Well, like, and he has no idea what even is going on in the plot by that point. He's just like,
Yes.
what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
But I'm going
level 10 glass tank. Fuck yeah.
Ah, shit.
Good
Poor
luck.
Estelle. She tries so hard to tell them, like, breaking and entering is bad. Like, well, we can't do anything if we don't do that.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
It's like breaking and entering's bad, and I'm like, yeah, we've kind of just already broken a couple laws. So what is that? What's
I
more
do
gonna hurt?
like how Carol just knows how to break locks. There's no explanation as to why he can do that. He just can, and everyone accepts it.
I mean,
I would
no,
laugh so.
My research keeps me too busy to pay attention to things
Go ahead.
like that.
I'm just saying, like, there's no explanation for Carol being able to do that yet, but as we go further on, it's like it's implied that because he's been around people in guilds and all that.
Oh, I remember what. Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off. I remember why we talked about Angry Video Game Nerd the last time. Because the music in Aspio starts off like the Angry Video Game Nerd theme.
I don't know anything
A little
It
bit.
doesn't.
I don't associate
Not
with
really.
people like that.
It sounds close enough to me to make me think that. It's like the first 4 notes make me think of it. I'm sorry.
I don't hear it.
It's just all like, it's like he's gonna take you back to the past.
I can see why you might not hear it, but I do, and it bothers
it's
me
a
that
stretch.
I can't.
I can kind of hear it, but at the same time, it's not 1-to-1.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Doesn't it bother you?
It's just. It's
It
just
bothers
close
me. It
enough to
bothers
make
me a
think
lot.
about it.
It bothers me a lot, and I'm the only one wearing bright clothes.
You know, your attitude.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Where'd that come from?
And that one's still pink.
Through a back entrance. Like
This coming from the guy who
God.
picked the lock.
I'm just tagging along to find Flynn, and now you've turned me into a thief.
I would laugh so hard if we find out that Carol can pick locks because he just hit the doorknob really hard.
No, maybe he's from the Locksmith Guild. You don't know.
I think it's implied that he was part of a thief guild. And like, because I'm just, if you're watching this honestly and you're not wanting to get spoiled by Vesperia's plot, you're in the wrong thing and watch the no commentary version. Honestly, but it's the plot point with Carol is that he bounces between guilds a lot and he never settles because he always like quits.
I thought it was implied that he always gets kicked out because he can't
Like,
ever
he
keep
either-
up well enough.
Like, it's either he gets kicked out or he leaves. Either way, he hops around a lot. But it's implied because he's such a coward that he doesn't want to stick around for, like when the going gets rough, he gets the hell out of Dodge when it comes to a guild.
Okay, I do have to mention this, though. As annoying as crafting is, I do like that Vesperia does this, and as far as I'm aware, this is the only game in the series that does this. that lets you that gives you a list of like here's what the material is you need, here's the enemy that drops it, and here's where you can find said enemy. I wish more Tales games did that.
Yeah, the only downside is though, you could only really see what monster drops which material when you're checking that guy. Because
True,
if you
but
try to
it's
check
better
if you
than
try to
nothing.
if you try to check it without talking to that dude, it'll show the material. But if you try to check what monster it drops, it doesn't show it unless you already know.
She's not even listening.
Just put. God, Estelle, you're better off just being put on a leash so we can get the plot moving forward.
But books.
No.
What? You know, you say that, and then there's that meme of like that picture of like that basically describes Act 1 of the game.
I need that
and
hand
it's just
axe.
Yuri.
Give me the hand axe.
And it's just Yuri holding back Estelle, Carol, and Rita on leashes.
You really want that axe, don't you?
That axe, though. No, because it has it recover on it, and I really need that on Yuri, so I'm not getting constantly knocked down to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
seriously. Eureka!
Shit.
Oh no, we even found out. Run.
Item thrower and item pro, which item pro, by the way, shortens the amount of time between item usages.
Yeah.
And it's very helpful.
I'm honestly surprised item cooldown hasn't completely gone away by this point.
It's a little weaker, but I don't give a fuck.
I do.
Here, Carol. Use this sash on your neck.
Bruh.
I do have to ask this though. When you play like a newer game, like not even super new, like if you were to go and play Tales of Xillia, and like play it through the entire way, and then come back to Vesperia, do you feel the difference or no?
Not as much as literally any Tales game after Symphonia, and going back to Symphonia.
Yeah, really.
Fair enough.
Because like, I get why people have gripes with Symphonia, especially if it's like not the first game that they play in the Tales series, like they play ones afterwards, because Symphonia is the very first 3D Tales game. They were trying to figure things out from there, so they didn't have like an idea of, oh, free running, that'd make things a lot easier. They didn't have that on the mind.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun?
I just asked with this one because this is in my opinion, this is the latest early game in the franchise that you should start with, kind of thing. And
It's like if you want a comfortable time, it's either this or Abyss. But and if you want to just see how the 3D gameplay evolved, start with Symphonia first, and then go to the later ones, so that way you can have a much easier time.
right?
Because Symphonia without free run, it's perfectly fine to play. It's not optimal, but it's still perfectly playable.
Right.
It's just not as good as later games of the series for obvious reasons.
You set your mind to it.
And I'm just happy to be here.
Sorry, man.
Oh no, keep going. I'm done.
I mean, I can't really say much else. It's just Symphonia has its rough edges, but it was also the first 3D Tales game.
Right.
So it's
Oh no, keep going. Siren apparently is walking encyclopedia.
We get to look at evidence.
Speaking of encyclopedias, look at all these goddamn books.
I know, right?
I wish I were a walking encyclopedia and Tales knowledge. I'm not.
Look, it's a giant boulder.
Quick, where do you get Genius's best weapon?
Fuck.
Yeah,
Make
seriously.
me play
Yeah,
red light, green light. Fuck you.
Yeah.
just play the GameCube version where you just glitch through it.
Oh yeah. God, I hate that red light, green light game.
I don't know a single person who likes it.
I don't know very many people that have actually bothered to get it in the first place because it's not worth it.
I got it on my Let's Play through a lot of fucking trial and error, but I got
said,
it.
Like I said, it's not worth it.
I like how only Estelle's the one that's at the entrance.
Because she's the one that's constantly telling you, don't break into people's houses, but we keep breaking into people's houses.
Don't break into people's houses. Breaks to a person's house to look at their stuff. I found a circle.
Man, I didn't think we got into Full Metal Alchemist.
I just also like how, like, they comment on the stuff, just like, you know you can come in, right? What the fuck does it matter? He's like, no.
No, I get to stand here and look at Repeat and look how cute he is.
He's
Oh,
just
no.
sticking his ass in her direction.
Imagine if he had bad gas.
No, that part already happened. We already dealt with Carol making everyone smell like shit.
Yeah, good point.
Resembles
You know
a
the-
magic circle that uses fire. Oh, you have
like
no
how-
idea.
I like how they say, "Hey, Estelle, can you see this?" No, dipshit. A giant crystal's in my line of sight.
And yet she was still able to kind of see it. She's like, looks like something for fire. Oh, you have no idea.
Uh-oh.
I had my good nap.
Shut up.
I had a good nap.
You want to know a funny thing too?
I'm just gonna
In
go
the
over it.
360 version, whenever she starts casting a spell and cutscene like this, that like that little shining sound that plays when she's casting a spell.
Shit.
It is obnoxiously loud in the 360
Oh yeah,
version.
it is.
Like it pierces your ears.
A girl?
I am
Also, also impressive how Rita's fireball didn't set the entire building on fire with all the books around and all that.
I like how Estelle reacts to that. A girl? It's like she hasn't seen another person of a different gender before.
I am now imagining her doing the Goku pat pat.
What? You're calling me a
Oh, and-
Have you ever heard of common sense?
Oh, and here comes another part that totally doesn't match what goes on depending
Yeah.
on what you're equipped with.
I'm not waving a sword in your face. I'm waving an axe.
That
It's
makes
totally
it worse.
different. No, it's totally different. You're fine with an axe, right?
And you, kid.
Rough.
Look, we're loggers. I just chopped down a giant ass tree. We're just tired, okay?
I also like how the blasty in Carol's hand just looks like a microphone.
My name is
Yeah!
Carol's gonna start up a
I'm gonna do
podcast.
care. Yeah, a podcast about nothing.
The Seinfeld
Blastia.
podcast.
The Seinfeld
What do you
podcast, yes.
Well, you see, Yuri has followed a
Also,
blacksmith
one
here all the way
minor
from
gripe I
Imperial
have
Capital.
with Rita,
And
that damn sock. For some reason, I don't know why she hasn't. I don't know why she has a.
So,
Yeah.
well, Mordio is certainly my name. Rita Mordio, to be exact.
You suck!
what
You're
do you think
short.
for yourself?
Fuck you.
You are.
I have no idea what you're.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
I
Follow me.
had, like,
Maybe you
Where's
don't
your nose?
think. We're not
Good question.
All right, there, Krillin.
Just follow me,
There it
would
is.
you?
It is funny, like from from certain angles, the nose just like
thieves.
it's supposed to show like a little shadow where the nose is pointing and whatnot.
the nose.
But like the cell shading makes it look like if they're facing directly at you, there is no nose.
It's gotta be.
It's just like Krillin.
Shot him down.
Only in
Yeah.
that case, Krillin was intentionally not given a nose, and it's
Oh
so,
yeah, that's right.
and it's so
They only-
hilarious that they bring that up
they
as
only
a plot
bring-
point,
Could be there.
Yeah, they only bring it up one time and then never again.
and all
Because
because of
it's
a
a gag, you
gag.
don't
It's just
need-
all like, wait,
you don't
why
need
are you
reference-
why are you worried about bacteria and you don't have a nose? Oh yeah.
All right, but don't even think.
Again,
about
Rita's
it for
outfit
it.
just bugs
You
me
don't
because
have
of
to
that
come.
one sock on her right leg that doesn't match the
Why
left
don't we
side
give
of
it
her
a try?
pants.
It's
Like,
not
why
like
is
I
her?
might even
Why
do
she
it.
have that one sock
It's up
on?
to
It's
you.
really
Go to
awkward.
jail, make
Let's
a
be
lot
real
of
Her
here.
clothing-
It's not
her
as
clo-
Pick
oh
one.
wait.
her clothing screams "fuck
Go
it."
with you.
Her clothing
I mean-
screams like a light version of that Final Fantasy Tactics protagonist. Like a really, really light version of it.
Which one? There's like 3 different Final Fantasy Tactics.
The one with the freaking pizza slicer.
Oh, that might have been Advance.
Yeah, Tactics Advance.
Rita's a little scary,
Good God, that is just that just screams.
Just about what
I
I'd
don't
expect.
give any
Places in the
fucks
crowd.
about anything.
I've only played Tactics on PS1, so I don't know anything about the other games.
I only know about the character design for that game because it is so fucking over the top, all over the place.
I'll apologize.
You'd better remember that when the time
Yeah.
comes.
Oh, were you
Was
listening?
it
Not just
designed by
happens
Tetsuya
over
Nomura?
here.
Because that would
So
explain
you
a
think
lot.
I'm scary, do you?
I don't even know how many belts he
Watch
might
it, Carol.
have.
She's definitely the kind
I
of
think it's March.
Hey, don't scare me.
I love how
Or-
the first. I love how if you ever mention. I love how if you ever mention Nomura, the character has to have belts because for some reason he has some belt fetish or some shit with his character design.
Also, future me, hopefully you remember that you posted that photo in Discord. And that's the character I mean, by the way. Oh god. It's just like the freaking pizza slicer, the shoes with the socks that like freaking sock funnels. He's got like a shield on his elbow. What is this? What even is all that?
The Pizza Tower is an RPG.
Oh god. It's Tactics
Shit.
Pepino.
Yeah, just turn his costume white. You got Peppino.
Next thing you know, they're gonna give Pepina and the Tower of Pizza.
No, Peppino in the next Kingdom Hearts game, he has a keyblade that's shaped like a pizza cutter.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, another thing. The collector's book, you could go the whole game without ever getting it. You have to come up here and just check that.
You would think Rita, of all people, the book nerd, would just have the collector's book on her.
I kid you not.
Fuck no.
When I first played the 360 version, I never got the collector's book until I finally beat the game. And then I looked it up and it was like, where do you even get that? Oh, it's an Aspio. Oh, and then by the end of Act 3, oops.
Whoops. Well, it's not like you need it.
You know, the funny part... You can go through the whole game without getting that. I'm like, hey, why would you want to carry a collector's book with you? It's called a collector's book.
Oh, this. I love this. This has absolutely nothing to do with anything later on, but it's just a really funny side quest thing.
Evidence of her own misdeeds.
It was just like he was like, no, 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 no.
Oh no.
Death.
All right, this is the start of the whole Rita and Estelle may or may not be lovers kind of thing.
Not even that. It's just like, we're left guessing like, what did she have in that drawer? They never reveal it, but it's just like Estelle's like, I'll keep it a secret. It's like
It's
shut the
probably
fuck up.
porn.
Let your imaginations go wild.
It's either porn
it's
or some
enough-
kind of a. It's either porn or a bromide.
It's enough to keep Rita like Rita, who is like going into her character. She is very blunt. She is very straightforward, and like even she has a secret that it's just like, oh god, this is so fucking embarrassing.
She's got a bromide. She's got a blast to it. She's got a blastia bromide. That's what it is.
Oh no.
If you don't know what a bromide is, look it up.
We're not gonna go further into that.
It's not anything necessarily bad.
Tree ants.
Yeah, Bamco really likes to make trees as enemies in Tales games. I'm not entirely sure why.
More often than not, where this particular one's like, you'll only ever fight it by itself. So they're just one giant meat shield. That's it.
I just Googled bromide. The first thing the first thing that came up. Bromide is a type of medication used to treat severe epilepsy.
Not that bromide.
Also, there's these search points. Easy ingredients for, like, crafting, but they're kind of few and far in between, and they're not really worth going out of your way for.
It's also a giant log.
Yeah.
But I don't want to eat any gels that have been in a dog's mouth.
He said, come on, don't be like that.
Fuck
if
you.
things go bad."
Oh, I love this.
That's one big mouthies. Wait a minute. Did he really say that?
Pick it up.
All I heard him do was bark.
She's
Pick
so,
it up.
like, even she has a
Damn it,
little,
Dad.
her gullible moments.
Pick it up.
Pick.
You look a
Pick.
little
Pick it
jealous,
up.
Rita.
Up.
Wait,
I just
Fuck
love
you.
how she's jealous that Yuri understands Repeat enough to talk for him.
I'm
Fuck you,
glad I
sorry.
got that.
Fuck you,
reference.
sorry for taking my. Fuck you, sorry for taking my joke. You wouldn't have even said it if I didn't show you that movie.
I'm just gonna say I'm glad you showed me that movie because I get that reference now.
It's that Puss in Boots movie, isn't it? The new one?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing the memes for that here and there. I should get to watching it.
It's
You
a good
should, it's
movie.
good.
Luigi showed it to me the other day. It's good.
Oh yeah, and so now that we have Carol and I think Rita, but I think you only really Carol for this particular visit.
Rita's in the party, but she's not relevant to this dialogue.
Yeah, I think you just
Unfortunately.
need like Carol at minimum in order to get this next part of the whole caravan thing.
Yes. Gee, I
here's
wonder
a good-
why this guy is silent.
Here's a good question for you, Logic. How often do you find yourself switching characters you control, or do you usually just stick with Yuri the whole game?
I usually stick with Yuri, and whenever we get Flynn, I'll control him every once in a while, but, like, even for someone that's supposed to be, like, the traditional Tails playstyle, Flynn in this game does feel way too stiff to control in comparison to Yuri.
That's fair.
But it also makes sense in their characters, too. Yuri's more freeform, Flynn is really rigid.
People are gonna hate me for saying I use Carol.
Carol's fine, too.
Carol's fine, yeah. Carol is basically a faster Presea, and that's a good thing.
He's definitely combo better than Persea, that's for damn sure. I think I've seen, like, a video where, like, someone managed to get, like, a 100-hit combo with Carol. Just, like,
This
a
is one of
combo
the
showcase.
I want to say this is probably the first Tales game where I can think of where I don't really dislike using any of the characters. I guess Rita only because spellcasting takes a while, but even still, she at least can actually take a hit.
Meanwhile, just, like, out of all the characters, I kind of find Raven to be kind of unwieldy, but maybe it's just the way I play.
I can see that.
Because just like, oh, if you're at a distance, he shoots the bow, but if you're close enough, he'll either still shoot the bow, or use the daggers.
Or he'll smack you with the bow.
Yeah, or he'll attack with, like, the bow as daggers. It's just all like, where's the consistency? I gotta figure this out.
And
of course, Judith.
Judith
Judith is fucking busted if you know how to master her.
And of course, everybody will be like, "Oh, Judith's in there for the poor," and everybody's like, "No, she's not."
No, not even close. Not going into too much spoilers for something that we're basically spoiling the shit out of. Judith probably has more story relevance than like half the cast.
She's pretty much on par with Sheena in terms of story relevance, which is to say, she's very important.
Like of the entire cast, I would say Yuri, Estelle, and Judith have the most prominence in the story.
If we ever run into those Giganto monsters, oh god, I'm gonna.
And yet only here's the thing, and yet only one, and yet Tales of the Rays will only focus on one of them.
Ooh.
We make such a great pair,
Yeah.
Carol. Let's keep it up.
This is the game that basically solidified what unique monster battle theme, what the unique monster battle theme is for the rest of the franchise, at least.
I also liked in the back there, Yuri was just like, and I'm here too, guys.
Sort of, anyway. I mean, I think Tales of Arise is the first game to not use the Giganto monster theme for unique boss fights.
Yeah,
Also-
I'm here too, guys. I contribute too.
Yeah, it's just like Carol and Estelle, they're like hyping each other. I was like, oh, you did good. Hey, you did too. Yuri's just like, I'm right here.
I do like the end battle dialogues. This is one of the games too where a lot of little things in the franchise stick around, like the after battle banter starts to get really good with this game specifically.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to like keep mixing up the party so I could keep getting those unique battle end dialogues, because some of them are fucking amazing, and I really don't want to miss out on them. Or at the very least, I don't want to suddenly in Act 3 go like, oh hey, look, I'm finally doing this.
Yeah.